Hey Mike and Borg Warner, Jim Glenn from Special Springs. Short little video here on how to fill and check a gas cylinder. First thing, we're going to use one of the products that you're using. It's an M90 007. Notice it says A on there. That just strictly means, simply means that there's no gas inside of that, or very little gas. We're going to charge it to a purple, which has a little higher pressure. What we're going to need is a 39 DMCILA right here. You can see it in the catalog. We're also going to add a fitting on the end of that called an ADM08. What we're going to do is we're going to connect it to our charging hose. The other thing we're going to need, obviously, is a bottle of nitrogen. So here we have our nitrogen tank. We happen to have high pressure tanks. You would probably have a tank of 3,000 PSI. Ours happens to have right now 2,500 PSI. You can see we have it set at roughly right around 300 PSI, okay? And I'll show you where we got that number from. So if you go into the catalog here, and you see M90 purple, 20 bar or 290 PSI, and the force of the cylinder after we fill it should test at 22 pounds or 10 decanewtons. So let's go ahead and charge one up and see what happens. So we're simply going to take this cylinder. Now this is a little knob that moves this pin in and out. You want to have this all the way backed out. Otherwise, it'll keep the valve completely compressed. The pressure will force this pin in to compress the valve stem, and it will help fill the gas, help with the gas pressurizing. So we're just going to screw that on, just hand tighten. Okay. We have our gas on and off. Shouldn't take very long. Okay, shut it off. Now there is residual gas between here and there, and that's what this is for. Okay, we're going to unscrew this. Now we're going to test. This is a critical part because you have to make sure it's the right force. So we're going to go over here. Notice we have this is a gauge we bought, not something we make, but we also make a test stand like this over here without the hydraulics on it. It's a manual pump. But for small gas springs with low force, we use something like this. So we're going to test it. 30 pounds. Let's test it again. 29 pounds. I believe, let's go back to the catalog. We said it should have tested at 22 pounds. So we have too much gas in it. So what do we do? Okay. So now what we could do is we could screw this in here. Okay. We're going to open this valve, and we're going to, if you heard, I screw that pin in. Okay. Take this off, and you're going to see that there's no gas in it. So that's one way to degas the cylinder. So now I have to come back over to the regulator. Shut it off. This is the tricky part about these low gas springs. It's not really a science. Okay. We're going to turn the gas back on. Go back up here. Turn the regulator to about there. Let's see if this works. Do the same process. Back on the cylinder. Make sure this valve is shut. This is backed out. Turn the gas on. Notice the rod came out. Okay, let the residual gas out. Let's go back and test it. $25. Well, we're not going to get much closer than that. Normally, within 10-15%, it's good enough. So here, we have a little stop set on here so that you're always checking the same distance. 25, 24.5. So I'd say this is fine. Thanks very much.